Sammy. Let's go.
Satellite transfer
Captain, our UAVs have footage of the new Muto.
Let's have a look at it.
Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Brachah Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Those are my elders and my teachers who still rule well in sound doctrine. Peace, blessings, and safety to the elect of the nation of Israel, scattered throughout the four corners of the planet Earth, pushing His word in humility and sincerity as commanded by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash. Lord willing, this will be edifying. This is going to be a dream testimony. All right, I had a dream or a vision last night. And yesterday, I pray. I wasn't like a, like a formal prayer, but I just, I asked the Lord, to send me a dream or a vision, a spiritual dream or a vision, which I do that from time to time. I mean, a lot of times when I get the dreams or visions, it'll be because I prayed for it, but it'll come, a week or two or maybe even a month later. But this one came the same night. So when I went to sleep yesterday, I had a bunch of dreams. A lot of them were folly. I mean, I had a lot of dreams last night. Like, I can remember at least 5 different scenes of various different things. But this one stuck out the most. And it was about Leviathan. Okay? And it started with a TV screen. And there was a commercial of, because you had the controversy with American Airlines and how a UFO, a chariot of the Most High God, one of the angels, flew over the UFO. And the pilot was on record saying that he saw it and, that the flying object zoomed past them, above them. So it was like that. It was a video of an American Airlines plane. But instead of a chariot flying past it, it was Leviathan. It was a huge, humongous dragon, lizard dragon, dinosaur looking thing. And it was really quick. So you had to slow the footage down in order to actually see the dragon because it was a cloudy day. But it swooshed past the plane and into the clouds. And I said, damn, that's Leviathan. That's Leviathan. I said, I ain't know Leviathan fly. I said, that's Leviathan. So the scene switched. And I'm on this military ship, this U.S. military warship. And I told my wife, I said, I felt like I was in another vessel. I said, I think I was an Edomite because when I looked down at my arms, they were white. You know, I don't know. I feel like the Lord put me in a vision of another person's body. I was on a U.S. military ship, and we weren't at sea. The boat was on near the land. It was like docked, but there were other U.S. military ships that were on the sea, and basically Leviathan did something to where he damaged the ship. Like he made the ground shake or the water shake, and he shook the foundation of the ship so that certain parts of the ship, because those warships, you can destroy certain parts of the ship, but it won't sink. So that's what Leviathan did. He destroyed certain parts of the ship, but it didn't sink. It was on fire. And the people, the sailors, they were all contemplating what could have caused this damage. It was like, it couldn't. You think we hit a glacier? It was like, nah. The damage is too big. They were going through all the scenarios. They was like, you think it was this? It was like, nah. It's like, you think it was that? It was like, nah. And they went through all the scenarios, but something in my mind, whoever I was, maybe I was myself, but I could have sworn, like I said, when I looked down at my skin, when I looked down at my arms when I was running, it didn't look normal. It didn't look like me. So whoever I was in my mind, I knew that my ship was next because it had hit the 2 previous ships. So I knew that my ship was next. So what I did was I started to run towards the land to get off of the boat. And the picture that you see on the screen now is how the Leviathan looked with the scales on his back. That's how it looked when I saw it flying through the sky, and it had a long tail. It looked like just like that. And I don't know if it looked like that because this is the images that I have of Leviathan in my imagination, or if that's what he really looks like. But that's perfect. That one right there is perfect image. That's what he looked like. And like I say, Leviathan was attacking this U.S. military ship. So I knew that our ship was next. So what I did was I got off of that ship. And 2 people followed me. One of them looked like a Jake. And the other one, I don't really remember what he looked like. But they followed me off of the ship. We went down the steps. And then when we got off the boat, I knew that to brace for impact. And so, like, as soon as we got to the bottom of the steps, all you heard was, it was like a shaking, it was like a rumbling, and then it felt like a missile hitting. It was like boom, and the vibration went, shockwave vibration went through, and then at first I wasn't behind the wall. I just tried to curl up in a ball, but then I ran. Now at this point in the dream, I'm looking at a third-person point of view. At this point in the dream, I'm looking at a third-person point of view. So I go and I see the person, they all go and run behind this wall right before the wave of fire comes through. And then after the wave of fire, there was a wave of smoke. And when the smoke cleared, I was back in a first-person point of view. And we was there behind that wall for a while trying to hide. And then the scene switched again. And this is where the dream got really interested in and left up for interpretation. So we were in this alleyway in the city. It reminded me of it was an alley, but it was like a indoor alley. It reminded me of the Galleria in downtown Cleveland. I mean, not the Galleria, but the arcade. They have 2 arcades. It's like a indoor shopping center, but the roof is transparent, so it feels like you're outside. So that's where we was at, or that's where it felt like we was at, and we were looking out into the street, and there was a bunch of people in the street, and I'm thinking that I'm wondering why is everybody not going crazy and screaming and bugged out of their mind by seeing Leviathan. But when I look and I pay attention, everybody's walking past like zombies. Like their hands are completely to their side, their shoulders are completely straight, and they're walking slow, and their eyes like they have no soul. They're like zombies. So I'm wondering why is everybody acting like this? And 3 people that's with me, we're not acting, we're still conscious. And so I see a guy walk past the alley, and he was conscious. He was acting normal. But then as soon as he looked up at the Leviathan, he went into that brain dead state of mind, that zombie state, which, I feel like that could represent, the fact that Leviathan is going to destroy people. The fact that they were zombies basically just shows that Leviathan was going to destroy them. And I feel like the Lord didn't want to terrify me too much in the dream. So he didn't really show me exactly how Leviathan was going to rip people apart. He just used a symbolism for it, And then another thing was how, the scriptures say that Leviathan, nothing has dominion over Leviathan, and it was crazy because it was like Leviathan had them in a hypnosis, in a trance, and he was controlling them. Like it's almost like they were like serving the Leviathan. So when the dude looked up at the Leviathan and he started to walk into a trance. So I told the people I was with, I said, don't look him in the eyes. Don't look him in his eyes. Because if you look in his eyes, you're going to be hypnotized. You're going to fall into that trance. And as I'm saying this, Leviathan walked past the alley. He didn't walk past the alley. His foot, it was a humongous, gigantic foot that filled the whole alley. It was like, boom. And I just saw the foot, and I ain't look up because I didn't want to fall into the trance. I didn't want to look up at him and see what he looked like. Which the scriptures say that Leviathan is dreadful to behold. When you read Job, the 41st chapter, I think it's Job, the 40th chapter, and the 41st chapter, speaks about how Leviathan, nothing has dominion over Leviathan. Leviathan was completely had all those human beings in subjection. Okay? And, like I said, his foot, it reminded me of Godzilla, how big his foot was when it walked past. And then there was even baby Leviathans. They were baby, Leviathans, which the word Godzilla means God's lizard, which Leviathan is the Most High's lizard. And the Lord said that he would let Leviathan loose at his time, But it was even baby Leviathans, and the baby Leviathans weren't intimidating at all. They actually looked like if you grew up and you saw the show Dragon Tales and the purple dragon. That's what the baby Leviathans looked like. But they were still about the size of a house, a 2-story house. And so you saw the foot, and then after the first Leviathan walked past, the baby walked past, and so. We were hiding in this alleyway as long as we could, but the Leviathan started to come through. It's like they were walking through the town looking at everyone, because once they looked at them, they fell into that trance. They were basically, which I believe, like I said, was symbolic for them being killed and destroyed just by looking at them. And so he was coming through all the streets, and then he came towards the alley to look at us. So I was like, we gotta go. They're coming. So we went into this building, and this building is in a lot of my dreams. It looks like a church, but it's also like a daycare. And so we went into this building, and I'm going through the halls, and I'm coming through the alleyway. I mean, not the alleyway, but the hallways, and I'm closing the doors. I'm shutting the doors, and I'm going through the building. I'm telling people, like, don't look in the eyes. Don't look in the dinosaur eyes. Don't look in the dragon eyes. I'm like, don't look in his eyes. If you look in his eyes, he's going to hypnotize you. And some of them didn't know what I was talking about. It's as if they didn't know what was happening outside. So I said, screw it. I find me a nice room. I cut off the lights, and I hide in that room. And that was pretty much the end of the dream. So a Leviathan is coming. Leviathan is coming, man. The Lord's going to let him loose. All right? Here in these times. Let's read this. This is Job 41, verse 1. Canst thou draw out Leviathan with an hook, or his tongue with the cord which thou lettest down? Canst thou put an hook into his nose, or bore his jaws through with a thorn? Will he make many supplications unto thee? Will he speak soft words unto thee? Will he make a covenant with thee? Wilt thou take him for a servant forever? Because this is what Esau does to all the other creatures that the Lord created. He puts them in subjection. He makes covenant with them, like the dog. He makes them a servant forever. Like all the beasts of the field, he got them in zoos. But with Leviathan, you can't do this, Esau. It says, shall the companions make a banquet of him? Yeah, he not going to be able to cook Leviathan, and put him on a plate and serve him for dinner. Shall they part him among the merchants? Canst thou fill his skin with barbed irons and his head with fish spears? Right. Can't put him in a cage, nothing. Leviathan had all those human beings in subjection. They were all in a trance. They were all destroyed. Verse 8, lay thine hand upon him, remember the battle, do no more. Behold, the hope of him is in vain. Shall not one be cast down even at the sight of him? So like I said in the dream, when they saw Leviathan, they fell into this hypnosis, brain dead state. Okay, they were cast down at the sight of him when they looked him in his eyes. When they looked up and they looked at his head and they saw him. Job 41:9, behold, the hope of him is in vain. Shall not one be cast down even at the sight of him? None is so fierce that dare stir him up. Who is able to stand before him? Nobody was. They all fell into this trance. Who have prevented me that I should repay him? Whatsoever is under the whole heaven is mine. And that Leviathan belongs to the Lord. Okay? Let me jump down. Verse 14. We could just keep reading. I will not conceal his parts, nor his power, nor his comely proportion. So the Lord's going to reveal him. He's not going to conceal him. He's going to reveal him in his time, when that time is right. Who can discover the face of his garment? Or who can come to him with his double bridle? Who can open the doors of his face? His teeth are terrible round about. Right. So Esau is not going to be able to dissect him. You know what I mean? Esau does all these things with the creatures of the Lord, but he can't do it with Leviathan. His scales are his pride, shut up together as with a close seal. One is so near to the other that no air can come between them. They are joined one to another. They stick together. They cannot be sundered. So you can't. Leviathan is impenetrable. Okay. His scales are sealed shut. You can't pierce him with a spear, with a missile, nothing. He's unstoppable. By his neesings a light doth shine, and his eyes are like the eyelids of the morning. Yeah, orange reddish eyes, you know. And neesing means sneezing. Okay, because fire comes out of his mouth. It says here in 19, out of his mouth goeth burning lamps, and sparks of fire leap out. Out of his nostrils goeth smoke. Right, we saw the fire, we saw the smoke when he came and attacked that U.S. military warship. You know, out of his nostrils goeth smoke, out of a seething pot or cauldron. His breath kindleth coals, and a flame goeth out of his mouth. In his neck remaineth strength, and sorrow is turned into joy before him. The flakes of his flesh are joined together. They are firm in themselves. They cannot be moved. His heart is as firm as a stone, yea, as hard as a piece of the nether millstone. When he raiseth up himself, the mighty are afraid. By reason of breakings they purify themselves. The sword of him that layeth at him cannot hold him, the spear, the dart, nor the habergeon. He esteemeth iron as straw, and brass as rotten wood. Iron is like a straw to him, which iron is the strongest metal, and brass is like rotten wood, easily broken, brittle. The arrow cannot make him flee. The arrow is the missile. The slingshot are turned with him into stubble. Darts are counted as stubble. Yeah, bullets. He laugheth at the shaking of a spear. Sharp stones are under him. He spreadeth sharp point of things upon the mire. Yeah, those are his claws on his feet. It says he maketh the deep to boil like a pot. He maketh the sea like a pot of ointment. Yeah, because they were using heat censored radar, and there's a point in the ocean. There's a spot in the ocean that's extremely hot, and they don't know why. Well, that's because Leviathan is right there, man. The fire-breathing dragon is down there, making it hot. It says, he maketh the path to shine after him. One would think the deep to be hoary. Upon the earth there is not his like, who is made without fear. So Leviathan is fearless, man. Once he comes out, it's a wrap. He beholdeth all high things. He is king over all the children of pride. Who are the children of pride? Esau, Edom. But he's not king over the Israelites, because the Israelites are going to have him in subjection too in the kingdom. He's going to obey our commands in the kingdom. But he's king over the Edomites, and that's how it was, man. Like, it's like when they were in that trance, they were also like kind of like worshiping him and serving him. You know, they were escorting him, and they were, you know, they were like marching around him, and you know, it's like he had them under a spell, but it was like he was communicating with them at the same time. You know. So, like I said, man, hey, it was a dream. That's what it was. Lord, when it was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rachak Kodash, for giving me the spirit to do this lesson. Lord, when it was edifying to the elect, double honors to the apostles and elders. Brother Yaquam, Kwam Yasharala, Shalom.